What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Universal Mastery, welcome to my channel. So, what I'm going to be talking about in today's video is something that is very valuable, something that's very important to understand, and it's going to be, it's something that you, exactly what I said, you need to know this, okay? And this is high-level knowledge, okay? So once again, Universal Mastery, what I do on my channel is I break down the occult sciences and I break them down to a practical level so that you can use them and apply them in your day-to-day life. Just to give you a little bit of an understanding on who I am, my name is Jeremiah Schwartz. I am a professional occultist, fully initiated in Kabbalah, being the top of the tree and the bottom. I'm studied when it comes to the tarot, and I'm also studied when it comes to astrology and planetary energies and things of that nature. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about in today's video that is so important is going to revolve around how to gain power from spirits. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to do an invocation in this video. I'm not teaching you how to do it necessarily, but I'm going to explain the process of how you would gain power from a spirit. If you're wanting to understand or learn the actual techniques, the actual invocation method, which means calling an external spirit, pulling it into your own energy field and taking on that spirit's power, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to join my Patreon, because I have a video on my Patreon that teaches you exactly how to do an invocation, where I do it on camera so you see me doing one, and then afterwards I teach you how to do it. Okay, so that'll be on my Patreon. That's going to be the first link in my description. Okay. So yeah, once again, without further ado, we're going to be talking about how to gain power from spirits. What exactly are the mechanics that are going on and what's taking place? What is the energetic exchange that is taking place between yourself as your own individual spirit and an external spirit that exists, could be in different universes and different dimensions and within the astral plane. Okay. So if you want to know how to do this and what's going on behind gaining power from a spirit, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Right off the bat, working with spirits is not necessarily for beginners, okay? So no matter what spirit you're working with, you're gonna find that there is a lot of people that try to do invocations, that try to work with other spirits, but they are unable to, because the reason for that is because, and it's very simple, you don't have enough power yet. You do not have enough magic built up within your own energetic field that you're not able to be psychic. You're not able to communicate with the other realms, the other dimensions, or tap into the astral plane, okay? So, long story short, if you are a complete beginner and you feel like you don't have your, enough power to do this, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to watch the video before this one, which teaches you how to build up power, your own magic power, personal power, using a wand. And I explain within that video exactly how to do that. And I'm going to make sure at the end of this video, I'm going to put a link for that video so you can check it out. Okay? So if that's you, go check that video out and start applying that first. Then once you gain enough power, once you build up your energetic field, now you're going to be able to do invocations. Now let me explain what exactly is taking place when it comes to doing invocations. First thing that we can already draw from what I just said is you already need to be somewhat of a psychic. So there is a lot of people, there are some beginners, a good handful of them actually, I was one of them, who was naturally gifted when it came to being a psychic. So when I started my practices, I dove into spirit invocation very quickly. Very quickly. And it was where my spirit led me to go. Like the information was being brought to me And I took it very seriously, and I went and I performed it, and I was disciplined, and I did it over and over and over and over. And as I did it, I would get more and more success, and I would see signs in my day-to-day life that the spirit that I was doing invocations with was communicating back to me. I was writing down notes during invocation. I was asking questions. I was sitting still in silence, making sure I'm listening to my own dialogue in my mind. And then I would ask questions and I would listen to see if something can interfere with my own inner dialogue to give answers. So I took it very seriously. Now, there are people that don't take it as serious as I took it, or people that will take it as serious as maybe you have or you will. Meaning there's going to be people that try to do their first invocation. They think that they're just going to see the spirit appear, and they think it's going to be like something you would see out of a Hollywood movie. But in reality, that's not true. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have experiences that are like that. You for sure can. I have had many I've had so many supernatural experiences during my deep occult workings. To the average human mind, it would shock you. It would literally take you from where you're at in your current state of mind and collapse it, throw it into a whole nother world of belief, and then reawaken a whole nother awareness. I've seen things, I've done things that are so supernatural that where I'm at in my personal practice and power, there's no denying that occult science has an effect here on the physical plane. And you will eventually get to that point if you're taking it serious. Now, once again, there's going to be beginners that get into it and they want to do their first invocation. They jump right in. They're not gifted naturally, so they're not psychic already. They do their invocation. Nothing happens. They say, I don't know. Nothing showed up. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I used the sigil. I used the mantra. Nothing happened. And then they write it off and they say, oh, didn't work. Not true. Can't happen. And those people, obviously, are going to fall to the wayside. Now, obviously, if that's you and you've tried to do invocation, it hasn't worked for you yet, remember what I just said. Go to the video before this one and learn how to build up your energy field using natural earth energies first so that you can charge your wand and your crystal, which becomes a generator for magic, a generator for energy that you're collecting through the trees. I give you the whole technique on how to do it. Then you can build up your energetic field, which increases your connection to spirit, to the spiritual planes, which then will give you psychic abilities so that when you go to do your first invocation, now you're going to be able to interact with spirits. Okay? So go to the first video before that if that's you. Now, this is what's going on. Okay, so this is how you gain power from spirits. I'm going to start off very simple here, and I'm going to make other videos that go into much more depth because there is a real science behind it, including the Fibonacci sequence on a very deep level that reaps very powerful reward. But I'm going to go very basic in today's video, and it shouldn't actually even be too long. So when you're trying to gain power from a spirit, through working with that spirit, what you're doing is, first of all, you're approaching a spirit that you already have a natural inclination to. There's already a gravitational pull that's pulling you to whatever spirit that you're attracted to, okay? Now, what you need is you need the mantra for that spirit, okay? You need the mantra that can call on that spirit. And if you go and search the mantra for that specific spirit, that is an archetypal mantra that many other people have used, which is a very powerful gateway to get you right to that spiritual energy, whichever spirit it is that you're trying to work with or channel, call to you. The next thing you need is that you need the sigil of the spirit, okay? The sigil, the symbol that creates a gateway because you're drawing it on paper, which is wood, which connects back to earth energies and is very ancient. But then you're drawing it, the symbolism, the literal, like all these symbols that you're drawing have codes to it. It's all science. And once again, you're tapping into another archetypal energy that is now creating a gateway connecting the physical plane over to the astral, you could say. And now that spirit has a gateway to come through because you're trying to have the spirit come to you through your intent. Okay? Now, the mantra, essentially when you come across mantras, what they really are is worship. Mantras are worship. What exactly does the word worship mean? Worship means respect. Okay, so when you say a mantra, if you actually dissected most of the time, the translation of that mantra that you're using to the language you understand, it's usually like, hail this spirit, or great Lord this spirit, or wonderful, like it's worship. It's high levels of respect. So you're approaching this energy from a very respectful energy so that you can get its attention. And I'm not saying on an emotional level, but when you respect something, there's a certain energy that's behind respect, which means, one, you're taking it seriously, and two, you're taking the energy that you're calling on seriously. And because you have both of these things, this level of seriousness, this shows that you believe what you're doing is actually real. That is one of the most important things to understand. Belief in what you're doing. Real belief in your magic. So when you take it seriously on that level, and you're saying your mantra, and you're approaching the spirit from that respectful place, that spirit, based on your energy and your power, will come through, whether it be faster or slower. For beginners that are just building up their energy bodies and starting to communicate with spirits, it's going to take a little bit longer. The more powerful you become, you don't even need to do any of that. You can think of a spirit and it shows up. You can literally summon them instantly. And that comes down to bone generators. Crystallized minerals within your bones, your own bone structure, which you become your own ritual circle. You become your own wand. You literally become whatever you need to make things manifest. And this is taking it a little off track, but this is high level magic. High level magic. Very advanced level magic. That's what you can get to. But once again, starting off, you should have your circle, and I will make a whole nother video to make sure I cover exactly what you want for your circle to make it the most effective, and what other tools you would want to have to be able to summon a spirit in the most effective way possible. But the reality is that when you're calling on that spirit using that respectful frequency and that serious belief that you have, it eventually will come through. If you have the right level of energy, it will come through. And the next thing you want to do is communicate to the spirit. Whether you can hear it or not, you want to communicate. Okay? You want to say, hey, help me evolve. Help me improve myself. Help me reach my highest potential. These are things that you want to say. Now, the next thing you would want to do is you want to sit and listen to your own inner dialogue. Because a lot of the times, people don't know this, but a lot of the times spirits will speak to you in the very beginning when you're new through your own dialogue. It will sound like your voice. You may mistake it to be you, but the spirit will influence your own inner dialogue to respond. So for example, if you're sitting there, you've summoned the spirit to you, you've invocated the spirit, it's now in your energetic presence. So that means you and that spirit can start communicating, can start interacting with each other. The spirit is in a whole nother plane and you're on the physical plane. Okay, now there's a link from here on Earth, Mount Kuth, to a whole nother plane. Okay, so you want to ask things. Start communicating. So say, help me evolve, or what can I do to improve myself? Now listen. Listen to your own inner dialogue, because the answers will slowly but very surely start to come. Your mind, your own inner dialogue will start to say it. And as you practice this, within time, you will develop a relationship with the spirit. And what it means to develop a relationship with the spirit is now, let's say you do the invocation, that spirit shows up. Now you're starting to hear a secondary voice that's not your own inner dialogue. So you've done it enough times, and every time you do it, you're actually increasing your power, because when you call that spirit in, it helps you to increase your energetic field using that spirit. It's just what happens. If your intention is on evolution, if you're trying to improve yourself. Now, if you have wrong intentions, that spirit could start feeding off you and take more of your energy and then never show up again. It's just a fact. And it happens. It usually happens to people that do this stuff just to find out if it's real. And even if they did find out it was real, they didn't even want to really start the path anyways. They didn't really want to get deep into it. They just wanted to figure out if it was real or not. You got to be careful for that, because these spirits have certain properties, evolutionary properties. They're here to help you evolve. So why call on it if you're not going to go to the next level? Okay, that's one thing you want to know. This art is not a joke. This is a real ancient sacred art, and what I'm teaching you is high level. This is high level, okay? Even though this is very practical, very basic, this is actually high level, okay? Because you can do a lot of change with this potential power that you can gain from whatever spirit it is that you're summoning, okay? So that spirit, once you develop the relationship, you're going to be able to hear a separate dialogue in your mind that is that spirit that you're working with. Now you're starting to really develop a relationship with that spirit, because now you can hear your own dialogue, and now you're hearing a secondary voice. And then you can start visualizing, or to start, you can say, show me what you look like. Show me what you look like. Appear in front of me so I can see in my mind's eye. And you may start visualizing after you said that, after you asked that question, then you may start visualizing that spirit in front of you. That is the spirit that is present, interacting with your question, or with your, not even question, with your command. Show me what you look like. And now it's interacting with your mind to show you an image on the physical plane through your mind's eye, through your brain, to have that appear. Now you're starting to really develop a close relationship with the spirit, because now you can see what it looks like to you. And what it looks like to you sometimes is going to be different than what it may look like to other people. But there is something that you'll find in common with a lot of spirits, is they will show up in similar ways to multiple people. So then, let's say, for example, you're working with a spirit, and then next thing you know, you start coming across information, whether that be online or friends or wherever it is, books, and that information you're coming across is now telling you the same things that you got from the spirit. Meaning, when you were in invocation, the spirit was teaching you things and it was showing you what it looked like. And now you're reading other people's information that you didn't know before, and they're saying the exact same thing. That's how you know these spirits are very powerful, and they carry very, you could almost say, archetypal energies in their own way. Just like, I have my own types of energies that are very archetypal in my own astrological makeup. Same thing with these spirits. Okay? So this is how you develop power from a spirit. As you build your relationship with that spirit and you stay consistent and you start asking for things, hey, can you do this for me now? So the beginning should revolve around, hey, can you help me evolve? Can you help me get to my highest potential? Can you help me learn more about this? Start asking questions that you want to learn about yourself first. As you start realizing how well that's working, now that you're developing this connection and this relationship with the spirit, which the spirit will follow you in your day-to-day life. It will show up and it will do things for you. Now, since you've built that connection, now you can start asking, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you go make sure this happens? And the spirit, depending on what you're asking, will sometimes do what you want it to do, And sometimes it won't do what you want it to do because what you want it to do may not be in your best interest. And then that spirit will tell you, hey, look, why do you want me to do this? Because this doesn't actually work out for you. This isn't in your best interest. This is actually not you. Like, what you're asking for is way out of the realm of spiritual evolution. And they will check you. And they will teach you that you need to stay focused on your evolutionary journey if the beginning of your invocations from the very start revolved around spiritual evolution. So your intent should be on reaching your highest potential, gaining power, and evolving, connecting to source, reaching source. That's the whole purpose. And as you learn the nature of the spirit that you're working with and your own nature, your mistakes, your flaws, the things that you're good at, the things that are in alignment with you, now you start commanding the spirit to do things that you know are in your best interest, and it will go and do those things for you. And you'll know how they happen very quickly. And as you know, there are many different types of spirits. There are hierarchies to spirits. Some are way more powerful than others. And I will make other videos that cover this subject. But all you need to know for this video is how you gain power from an invocation. And that's exactly how you do it. You're calling an external spiritual intelligence into your own energetic field. And you are pulling in and alchemizing that spirit that you called to you. The reason why it showed up is because you called it. You opened yourself up to allow it to come. So now you can start integrating its energies. And as you're integrating its archetypal, you could even say planetary energies, they're becoming aspects of you now. So you can almost say you're becoming self-similar to the attributes that you want from the spirit that you're working with. And this is the power of invocation. This is the power of spirits. And there's a lot more behind it. Once again, this is extremely practical. This is extremely simple. So I'm going to leave it there. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. That's all you need to know. I think this is going to offer value to some people. So other than that, we're going to leave it there. I'm definitely going to make more videos in the future that are going to go way more in depth. And if you want to go a little bit more in depth, definitely check out my Patreon. I got a lot of stuff on there. So hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you feel like it offered you value, hit the subscribe button because I love to see my subscribers go all the way up. And definitely make sure you hit the notification bell because I post videos as often as I can. Okay, now exactly what I was saying, just a few moments ago, definitely make sure you go and you check out my Patreon because on my Patreon, I have exclusive content that's not on my YouTube channel. Some of that content is geared towards actual occult practices that I'm performing on camera, and then I'm teaching you how to perform it yourself that are very, very valuable and fundamental practices. And once again, one of those practices, for example, is how to do an invocation. Okay. Once again, I explained what an invocation is in this video. I'm not going to explain it again. But what that does for you is that increases your psychic awareness, which increases your psychic power, and that will increase your psychic protection and bring more luck into your life. Okay. So I have videos like that. And if you're interested in Kabbalah, which has everything to do with high levels of spiritual initiation and spiritual knowledge, then definitely make sure you check out my Patreon because I break down all of the spheres on the Sephiroth, which is the top of the tree, and the bottom, the Qliphoth. And I give you all their attributations. I give you all their symbolism. I give you the spirits that are associated with them, the higher up spirits in the hierarchies. And then after every one of those individual videos that I make on the spheres, I break down my own personal experience having initiated through it myself, which is extremely valuable if you're looking to take your understanding, your knowledge, and your wisdom to the next level. Okay, so once again, that's going to be on my Patreon. I have 4 tiers altogether. In order to gain access to this exclusive content, you have to at least be a tier 2 member or up. In order to be a tier 2, it costs $9.95 a month, and that's a reoccurring payment. But if you do the math, that literally will come out to less than $1 a day. So there's really absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to afford that, especially with the value that I have on there. That is a fact from me to you. With that being said, As you go up in tiers, the benefits increase. And I would love to give a special shout out and send, great energy your way as well, to my highest tier members of the Patreon. I have their names mentioned right below that Patreon link that you see in the description. So go and check their names out and also send them amazing energy. Okay? And then the next thing I want to say is huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. I appreciate all of you for taking your knowledge to the next level. That is a fact. And then the third thing I would like to say is a huge shout out to all of my followers on YouTube in general, all my subscribers. Huge shout out. Okay, the next thing is if you want to book a personal tarot card reading with me, then go to the second link in my description. It says Square Appointments, and you can book your own personal reading where I can let you know exactly where you're located in regards to your spiritual journey, okay? Because I'm studied in Kabbalah, which is pretty much the roadmap on spiritual evolution and where your evolutionary journey is headed and what energies you're pulling on. So what I do is I choose 3 cards, which is present, near future, long-term future, and I break it down in a very subjective way, not just a traditional way, but very subjective. And I'm also letting you know what my spirit is telling me to tell you. So I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to give you everything that I feel like I need to tell you. And once again, what I do is I can break the entire card down all the way to the elements. I break it down into deep symbolism, very subjectively, as I said. And then I break down the Hebrew letter within the card, which can point me to exactly where you're located at in regards to the tree of life, which is very profound. So if you're looking to have more clarity on where you are now and where you're headed in the future, I would definitely recommend getting a reading. The way I do the reading is I do it by myself on my own time so I can really get in the zone. And then I will take a video recording of me doing the entire breakdown after I did the reading, breaking down everything. It's going to be a minimum of 30 minutes. It could be longer. And when I finish, I send the video over to you. And then the only thing that I need after that is your feedback. And so far, I have a collection of all my feedback, and it's very great feedback. And the readings have been awesome. I love doing them too. I learn a lot when I do the readings because I get to see where people are located. I get to see what's going on. And it's just so, like, when you get into tarot readings and you do it professionally, it's so powerful because the cards don't lie. It's a weird concept. Like, I can do a reading for you. You don't have to say a word to me. I don't even have to know you whatsoever. And I can pull a card that will literally tell me everything I need to know about what you're experiencing, what you're going through, and if I keep pulling cards, what's coming up and what's, I can figure out everything I need to know about you just by doing cards. Some even say you can do magic with cards, and I totally believe that as well, and I do. A lot of my readings are actually like doing magic for people. But yeah, I'll leave it there. So that's going to be in the second link below. You'll find it there, Square Appointments. Other than that, I'm going to wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or night, wherever you are, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.